B&B 2020. Are you ready?
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and here we are at Whilton Mill for this penultimate round of the Rich Energy British Mini Bikes Championship. My name is Chris Sora, and I'll be taking you through the afternoon's action. As you can see, looking at the paddock on the left-hand side of your screen, another big entry of riders for this penultimate round of the Group A. We've got some pretty decent... Here we go then, the riders making their way back to the waiting zone. We'll see the Group B riders out a bit later on today. The Group A riders are in the waiting zone, about to go out onto the track for their formation lap, and we'll have a look at how they line up ahead of this first race from the morning qualifying. Starting at the front is Jim Lovell with a 43.4 on the dot for number 97. Rhys Stevenson in second place, Ryan Tyers third, Billy Pearson, Ben Lord and Chase Collymore in 6th position. 7th is Mick Lord, Ben Clucas 8th, Chloe Jones in 9th, Joe Woodward rounds out the top 10, Matt Davis and Ed P taking us 11th and 12th position. 13th for Ryan Clark. A bit further back we have Carl Sanders, Sebastian Barron, Connor Wyatt and Matt Lockyer in 18th place. 19th for Dan Merrin, Ben Ray in 20th position, Matthew Wood, Rob Shearer, Shane Hopkins and Daniel Pearson in 24th position. 25th for Joe Mills, Jake Marsh, Chris Edwards down Hall in 28th, Louis Smith in 29th, Will Loader qualifying in 30th position as they make their way through. Loader then running up that 30 rider field, and in terms of the championship, this is still pretty close, you would say, in this stock 140. Let's have a recap of the championship positions. And Jim Lovell, who won that dramatic dash to the line last time out at Three Sisters, leads the title by just 9 points from Ben Lord. And of course Ben Lord dropping a few points at the second round of the championship at Lyd. So still a bit of work to do. Ryan Tyers only just behind on 312 points. Mick Lord in 4th from Chase Collymore, who was unlucky not to win at Three Sisters. Very, very close battle to the line in 5th place. And Chase Collymore on 212 points, potentially could be an outsider for the championship with 2 rounds to go, but would rely on some of the riders in front of him dropping points. So Jim Lovell, as we say, not much in it though in terms of the championship. This is very important, of course, number 48 Ben Lord, and one rider to look out for, of course, he's not really a factor in terms of the championship though, is the number 1, 2, 3 Rhys Stevenson. Joined the class mid-season and has immediately established himself as a front runner in terms of the championship. So here we go, the riders now lining up, the last 2 riders on the grid for Parker Racing Stock 140 Group A. And this, as we say, a very important race in terms of the championship. 16 points covering the top 3 riders, nothing at all in it as the riders line up. I think we're ready to go. The green flag is up. And Parker Racing Pit Bike Stock 140 gets underway. A spectacular start as they charge into the first corner. Rhys Stevenson's got a good jump on the field. Will they get through safely? Somebody's got a good jump around the outside as Stevenson leads them up into Christmas corner. Jim Lovell second, Ryan Tyers in third. The rest of the midfield go charging through for the first time. Everyone seems to have got through that first half lap safely. Down through Zulu they go, and look at this at the front though. Rhys Stevenson leads, Lovell right on his tail though in second place. The rest of the top 10 charging down the hill. Here come the midfield. There was the treble 8 Dan Merrin 16. Smack bang in the middle of the pack, you would say. It's been very close first lap and everyone seems to have got through safely. Here come the leaders round the final corner. Rhys Stevenson, your race leader. Jim Lovell second, Ryan Tyers third, Ben Lord, Billy Pearson, Chase Collymore, Mick Lord in 7th, Ben Clucas, Joe Woodward and Matt Davis. Less than 5 seconds covering the top 10. There's the number 1 Lord then having a look at the back of Ryan Tyres. 55. Ryan Tyres very closely fought indeed in third place. There's Ben Lord. Lord trying to find a way through here, and he's got, looks like the 53 of Billy Pearson on his tail. There's Tyres, 55. So certainly Ben Lord really does need to get through, get past the 55 here of Tyres. Trying to find a way through. These riders all very closely poised in terms of the championship. The joker in the pack here, you would say, is the 1, 2, 3 of Rhys Stevenson. Now Stevenson, of course, as we said, didn't compete in this class in the first 2 rounds, has immediately established himself as a front runner, but with those 2 rounds, of course, 0 score for the rounds he didn't race in, it means he's not a championship contender here, but still he's there at the front battling for race victories. What this means, of course, though, is that he could be taking points off the championship. Oh, but Stevenson's hit trouble. Oh, the rider who slowed down here, red flag. It's been a stoppage. We had the stoppage a few moments ago. Riders now lining up on the grid, and we'll be underway very shortly, just making sure they are in the correct positions according to race order earlier on. Chase Collingwood there, the number 7 on the leathers, making his way all the way up towards the front. He was one of the last riders out on the formation lap, so retake his position towards the front of the grid, and we'll be underway very shortly for the restart of Parker Racing Pit Bike Stock 140. Riders are ready. We're looking at the starter now with the green flag, and riders are ready in position. Here we go then for the restart. Lies on that starter, the flag drops, and away we go. Good start there from Stevenson, but Lovell down the inside. No, not quite. Rhys Stevenson shuts the door on him as they go through Christmas, up towards Christmas for the first time. Rhys Stevenson guarding that inside line. Lovell tries the outside sweep, not close enough to go for the lead. The rest of the pack go charging through Christmas corner for the first time. All seem to have got through safely. Oh, and look at this though, Jim Lovell has taken the lead into Zulu. So Jim Lovell, the new race leader, very important for him in terms of the championship. Rhys Stevenson drops to second. Look at this though, for third now. It looks like Lord going down the inside of Tyres. Really does need to get to the front here, does the number 1 of Ben Lord. And for Jim Lovell, he needs to stay in the front. It'll be very good for him as well. If Rhys Stevenson stays in second, that'll be a barrier between him and some of his championship rivals, but I'm sure Stevenson here has got ideas of taking the lead again. Here he comes down the inside, Rhys Stevenson, and there he goes into the lead. Stevenson back at the front. Let's see if Lovell can fight back as they go into Zulu. Stevenson riding carefully here, guarding those apexes. Now importantly here for Jim Lovell is that Ben Lord is through to third, one of his main championship rivals, right behind him on the track now. Here they come down towards the final corner. In terms of the championship, only 11 points separating Jim Lovell from Ben Lord. Round the final corner they go, but Rhys Stevenson leads the race. Lovell second, Lord in third, Tyres, Pearson, Chase Collingwood in 6th place, Mick Lord in 7th, Ben Clucas, Joe Woodward and Matt Davis rounding up the top 10 as they make their way up the hill. Through Christmas corner they go as we look at Rhys Stevenson, 1, 2, 3, the race leader. Really has been a revelation this year in British mini bikes in 2020. I remember at the first round of the championship at Ella Park, we had the Pro-Am race, and Rhys Stevenson certainly wasn't too worried about Peter Hickman, was keeping the professional riders, keeping them honest in the Pro-Am race. So Stevenson having a good year so far, and he certainly has shook things up in terms of the front runners in this 140 group. Hey, now dropping out of contention there, was that? I thought it was Matt Davis momentarily, but Davis has gone through in 10th place, so somebody dropping out of contention in the midfield, but the race goes on. I think that's more of a mechanical issue than anything else as the leaders make their way through. Rhys Stevenson still your race leader, but certainly Jim Lovell is keeping the pressure on here in 2nd place. 5 laps to go, and all of the front running riders all together here. Any one of these 4 could take the victory. Still Billy Pearson and Chase Collingwood in contention a little bit further behind. But this is turning into a 4-way strap for the lead. Rhys Stevenson, your race leader. Jim Lovell in 2nd. Ben Lord and Ryan Tyres. The championship front runners all in contention here. Headed by Rhys Stevenson as they go up the hill. Stevenson guarding the inside line. Lovell holding on to that 2nd place. Lord 3rd. Tyres 4th. And at the moment it just It's almost like a game of chess here. Nobody is really too worried about making a move right now. There's still 4 laps to go. Rhys Stevenson, the race leader here, he's actually maintaining a good pace in the front, lapping in the 43-second region. And I don't think anybody's too worried about making a move so far, but Liverpool having a look down the inside. Oh, he just showed the claws there momentarily. Stevenson holds on to the lead, 4 laps to go. Certainly nobody wants to start holding each other up here. So Lovell looked a little bit squirrely there going through Oblivion. This will allow Ben Lord to make the move down the inside, so mistake there for Lovell in Oblivion. And Lord now to second place as Stevenson pulls away slightly, not by very much, only a few tenths. Lovell had the fastest lap of the race, 43.382, the number 97. But a mistake there drops him to third, and still watching in fourth is the 55 on the bike of Ryan Tyres as they go through boot once again. Lovell trying to fight back. Now this is allowing Stevenson to pull away a bit now. Second through to fourth, starting to do battle. Perhaps they're not worrying so much now about Stevenson. Rhys Stevenson, of course, is not a championship contender. He's pulling away at the front now, over 0.6 of a second. So this could be the battle of the title here in second place as Lord, Lovell and Tyres go head to head. They need to take points off each other here now, really. Not so worried about Stevenson. He's pulling away. There he is, the 1, 2, 3, the race leader. Still in second place is Lord, Lovell there, and Tyres all very close, second through to fourth. These top 3 riders battling for the championship. 16 points covering those riders going into this round here at Three Sisters, so every position matters with 2 laps to go. Stevenson ran the final corner. This should be the last lap board. Yes, it is. So Stevenson, 1 lap to go. The action here could be on for second place, so it's a championship battle for second place. Stevenson has pulled that small gap at the front as second through to fourth do battle. And Stevenson looking good at the front. Always getting close here for second place though. Here they come through towards Zulu into the tight right-hander. Lord guarding the inside line. Lovell and Tyres all very close as Rhys Stevenson pulls away down the hill. It's still Lord in second on the number 1. Lovell trying to go down the inside of Lord, who immediately guards the inside into boot. Look at Ryan Tyres though, in fourth place on the 55. Here they come round the boots. Oh, as down goes Jim Lovell. Front end goes down. He runs back to the bike. He's got to get that machine started. He's kept the engine running. He loses a place to Pearson. Rhys Stevenson takes the checkered flag. Ben Lord in second. Ryan Tyres goes through. And drama as Pearson goes through in fourth place. Jim Lovell in fifth. Dropping the bike though in boot. Just seemed to lose the front end possibly. Jim Lovell perfectly okay. And crosses the line in fifth place. Mick Lord in sixth. Ben Clucas, Joe Woodward, Chase Collymore ninth. Matt Davis rounding out the top 10. But that could be an important moment in terms of the championship for Jim Lovell. Small mistake on the approach to the finish line and loses vital points. But well done to Rhys Stevenson. Another race win for him. Took the lead early on in the race. And with all the championship big hitters fighting behind him, he ran his own race and took the checkered flag. But important moment in terms of the championship. That will allow Ben Lord to close up in terms of the championship lead, with one more race to go, of course, this afternoon for the pit bikes. But now you move. 2 races to go in what's been an action-packed afternoon here at Whilton Mill. We will start things off with the Parker Racing Pit Bike Stock 140 Group A. Riders are in the waiting zone. We had such a thrilling race last time out at Three Sisters, and the first moto earlier on today was also very exciting indeed. Riders then, as you say, in the waiting zone, about to make their way out onto the track. We'll look at the qualifying charts from this morning. Jim Lovell was the fastest qualifier from Rhys Stevenson. Ryan Tyres in third, Billy Pearson in fourth, Ben Lord and Chase Collymore rounding out the top 6. 7th for Mick Lord from Ben Clucas, Chloe Jones and Joe Woodward in 10th position. Matt Davis and Ed Peed in 12th position. Ryan Clark, unidentified rider in 14th from Carl Sanders, Sebastian Barron, Connor Wyatt and Matt Lockyer in 18th position. 19th for Dan Merrin, Ben Ray, Matthew Wood, Rob Shearer, Shane Hopkins and Daniel Pearson in 24th position. Running up the field, Joe Mills, Jake Marsh, Chris Edwards, Darren Hall, Louis Smith and Will Loader in 30th position. So riders now making their way back towards the... looks like Chase Collimore's got himself sorted out, and we are ready to go. Pit bike stock 140 Group A. Second race of the day is about to get underway. Here they go. It's a good start. Stevenson gets the jump into the first corner. Looks like it is Jim Lovell in second place. Good start as well for Billy Pearson up to third. And here they come up towards Christmas corner for the first time. Rhys Stevenson dives into the inside, protects that inside line into Christmas corner on lap number 1. Running up the field there was the 211 of Will Loader. Everyone seems to have got through safely. Here down the hill is Rhys Stevenson. Lovell second, Pearson, the top 3 breaking away slightly on that first half lap. Ryan Tyers, Ben Lord, Chase Collymore all in there as well. The leaders make their way through boot for the first time. So there's Stevenson. It's Lovell in second. Top 4 really breaking away now. So it's Rhys Stevenson, your early leader. Jim Lovell in second. Billy Pearson, Ben Lord. Ryan Tyers a little bit further behind in 5th place as we look at the number 53 of Billy Pearson coming under some pressure. Ben Lord down the inside. There's Chase Collymore, and Collymore ahead of Ryan Tyers. And to me, Ryan Tyers seems to be hitting some trouble here. He's not really looking comfortable and has dropped a couple of places. 84's gone through. Ben Klukas up to 6th position. And this is bad news for Ryan Tyers, certainly in contention for the championship. And 312 points, losing points on Ben Lord and Jim Lovell if things stay as they are. So there's Lord in 4th position behind Pearson, and Lord really does need to try and get past Pearson now and up with Jim Lovell in terms of the championship. This is good news so far for Jim Lovell, even though he's not winning the race. Oh, look at Pearson. I don't think he was expecting Lord down the inside. There he goes, nice sweep down the inside for Ben Lord. So at the moment, I would say this is good news for Jim Lovell in second place, even though he's not leading the race. It's Stevenson leading, but remember, of course, Stevenson is further down in the championship. He's not a contender, so effectively Jim Lovell leading the championship race in second place, but Lord is trying to close up now. Ben Lord really needs to get past Jim Lovell as they make their way down towards the final corner. Stevenson still leads, Lovell second, Lord third, Pearson fourth. It's very close indeed. 2.8 seconds covering the first 4 riders, and Ben Lord with the fastest lap of the race, 43.566. Ryan Tyers has fought back now to 5th place, gets past Chase Collymore. There's Joe Woodward on the 46 in 7th place, staying ahead of 84. Ben Klukas, Mick Lord in there as well. Matt Davis 110, rounding out the top 10. 9 laps to go, still a long way to go in this Parker Racing Pit Bike Group A. Chloe Jones, Ryan Clark, Ben Ray a bit further down, heading towards the midfield. Just saw Chloe Jones and Ryan Clark momentarily just on the edge of this battle for the top 10. There's Matt Davis on the 110. Davis currently sitting in 10th place. Chloe Jones starting to close up, and Jones really being pushed by Ryan Clark around the final corner. Very close battle here on the edge of the top 10. There is the 69 of Mick Lord. Chase Collymore coming under some real pressure now from Joe Woodward as I look down the inside into Christmas corner. Look out for Chloe Jones, number 151, currently in 11th place, closing up on the 110 of Matt Davis. And there's Collymore, number 7. As you said earlier, of course, one of the up-and-coming stars of British mini bikes. Now making a name for himself in the adult ranks, and was very unlucky not to win last time out at Three Sisters. He was very, very close. He just lost out by the slenderest of margins to Jim Lovell in what was by the very definition of a photo finish, you would say. Not quite as competitive here at Whilton Mill, but still running strongly in 6th place, but coming under some real pressure from Joe Woodward once again up the hill towards Christmas corner. Collymore tries to guard the inside line, and he does so, blocks the apex on the run up to Christmas as Lord tries to make a move. He gets past Klukas, now trying to get past the 46 of Woodward as the rider hits trouble further down. Now I think is possibly the 556 of Matt Lockyer, possibly. Try and pick that up later on. Stevenson still leads with 6 laps to go. We're looking now at Chase Collymore holding off a whole train of riders. Around the final corner they go. Collymore, oh, there's a big shunt there for the 110 of Davis. I think he's okay. The crash barrier doing its job there, and Davis spectacular looking crash, but the rider fortunately is okay, but he loses some positions as Chloe Jones moves up to 10th place. Matt Davis crossing the line in 20th position. A frightening looking crash there for Matt Davis, just seemed to lose traction on the final corner, but hit the ground well, you would say, kept the bike running and was able to stay in the race. We're looking now at the 53 of Billy Pearson, still there in 4th place. Ryan Tyers, here he comes now in 5th position, closing up on Pearson, and he really does need to get through in terms of the championship. Ryan Tyers, you would say, becoming more of an outsider in terms of the title race now, and really needs that position. But look at this now as you look to Christmas Corner. The two championship big hitters, Jim Lovell and Ben Lord. 11 points separated these riders coming into this round. And really, you would say that Ben Lord really does need to get past Jim Lovell. So look out for the number 1, Lord. There's Lovell, who won in dramatic style last time out at Three Sisters. He's still in 2nd place. Reece Stevenson pulling away now. The gap goes up to 1.8 seconds at the front as we head towards 5 laps to go. There's Stevenson, the race leader, goes past the 181 of Darren Hall, currently in 26th place. And this could be a really important moment now in terms of the championship. Very close indeed between Jim Lovell and Ben Lord. Lovell ahead going into this round at Whilton Mill. So that means, of course, that Ben Lord really needs to get past Jim Lovell to close the gap going into Teesside in the final round. Jim Lovell, if things stay as they are, even if he dropped to 3rd place, he would still lead the championship race, but he'll really want to stay ahead of Lord. Here they come through towards the boot complex now. Lovell holds on to that 2nd place. Reece Stevenson, 3 laps to go for Stevenson when he comes and crosses the line now, goes underneath another back marker. 3 laps to go for the 1-2-3. Reece Stevenson looks like he's gone past, I think that may be Chris Edwards, who's been lapped. Yes, it is. He's got the battle now between Louis Smith, Jake Marsh and Will Loader just ahead of him. There's Edwards about to be lapped by Lovell. Lord just a bit further behind in 3rd. Let's have a look at them coming down through Zulu. Lord a bit more aggressive over the curbs. Lovell guarding the apex, making that bike as wide as possible. I think he's gone a bit defensive now. Lovell just keeping those apexes guarded. Here they come into the final corner. Lord is starting to make a move now. There's Stevenson, the race leader, crossing the line. 2 laps to go. They're closing up on the midfield runners, about to put them a lap down. This could play a part in the race. We shall see. 2 laps to go as Lovell leads them up the hill. Lord is looking down the inside into Christmas Corner. He's not close enough to make a move though. Lovell holds on to 2nd place. Stevenson, your clear leader, 2.3 seconds. He goes down Zulu. And there you can see him closing up on those back markers again, just hustles the bike over the curbs. Very aggressive through Zulu. Cross the line, take the last lap forward very shortly. We're just going to keep an eye on this battle between Jim Lovell and Ben Lord. Here they come. They've had such a close battle this year on various occasions. Here they come around the final corner. 1 lap to go. Reece Stevenson is in there now with the riders towards the back there. Louis Smith, Jake Marsh and Will Loader. Here they come. There's the 211 of Loader. They're having their own battle here though. This could be difficult for Stevenson. He's going to be brave into Christmas Corner. Nice riding there from Stevenson. Sweeps through the slower riders and should now realistically be clear on his way to victory. What's going to happen though with Jim Lovell and Ben Lord? They're going to come into the slower riders now in Zulus, the worst part of the track to encounter slower riders, I would say. No real overtaking opportunities here. Lovell down the inside of Loader, puts him a lap down. Oh, and it crucially separates them, but Lord nips through. Stevenson around the final corner is going to take the checkered flag. Here they come. Pit bike stock Group A draws to a close and Stevenson wins it. Who's it going to be in 2nd place? Oh, it's Jim Lovell just ahead of Ben Lord. But Reece Stevenson, a great win for him there, number 1, 2, 3. Here he comes into Christmas Corner, so not quite as close maybe as last time out at Three Sisters, but very thrilling nonetheless. Lovell in 2nd place. That's going to be important in terms of the championship from Ben Lord. Ryan Tyers in 4th. 5th position for Ben Pearson. Chase Collymore in 6th place. Joe Woodward 7th. Mick Lord, Ben Clucas and Ben Ray in 10th position. Clark Sanders Davis a little bit further behind. So that draws to, there goes Ed Peed and Sebastian Barron, Matt Lockyer, all very close indeed. And we seem to sadly lose Chloe Jones on the final lap. That's a shame because she was running well in the top 10. But very well done to Reece Stevenson for taking the checkered flag. Another win for Reece Stevenson. It's been a good day for him so